What's up and welcome back to the Kinda Funny Gamescast for Monday, June 2nd, 2025. Of course, I am your host, Tim Geddes. I'm joined today by Greg Miller.
Everybody mark your calendars. It's only 28 days to Tim's birthday.
Blessing Adeoye Jr.
Good day, Tim.
And Andy Cortez.
Good day, Tim.
Good day to you all as well. Good week to you all. We are kicking off.
Are we sitting in the wrong spot?
We are. We want to see if we can figure it out. I sat down.
That's so funny.
I was like, that's weird. I'm over here. And then Andy sat down. He's like, Greg's usually next to me. And then I was like, well, it's Barrett's fault. And then Barrett tried to pass the buck to me. I'm like,
No,
you're in
I
charge.
did. What?
You
Are in charge. It's your laptop.
Just letting you know you're the director. If
Yeah.
you're not directing people, what are you doing in there?
All right, you
know
want
what
me to move your laptop?
I mean, if you want
I'll
me to
take
go
your
over there,
laptop
it's
right
whatever. I don't know. You throw Bless off his game. Look at him.
The thing that tipped me off was the fact that I said good day, Tim, as like the second thing, and I was like, that's not right.
That's not right.
Yeah.
That's not
There's
how this
something fucked
goes.
up
There's a
right.
flow
No.
to all of this.
Here comes the director to do his job. You know
I think
what I mean?
people might be switching seats. We'll see. Anything can happen here at Kind of Funny.
It's a wild
live,
week.
baby.
It's
That's how
a
the
wild
magic
week.
happens, Andy. Oh my God. The emails have been hijacked.
Are we switching or not?
Yeah, Barrett booked it. I liked that. No switch.
No switch?
Everyone remains.
We're turning over a new leaf.
Remain calm.
Andy, we're going to
everybody.
need you to redo the intro.
Ah, dang.
This is a big week. Summer Game Fest
Huge week.
is upon us, as is the Nintendo Switch 2 launch. Of course, you're going to want to stay tuned to Twitch and YouTube all week here at Kind of Funny. Today, we're kicking off with our predictions to Summer Game Fest. Tomorrow's Gamescast will be our Xbox predictions. Wednesday night, we're kicking off our 24-hour-long Switch 2 launch party, where all night long, Mike and Roger are going to be playing some of that Switch 2 and going straight into Thursday, starting games daily at 10. So ideally, we're live from Wednesday night all the way through Thursday's content, which is pretty wild.
Hell yeah, it's
and
gonna be
exciting
awesome.
times for everybody. And then, of course, Friday, live reacting to Summer Game Fest. Saturday, taking a little break. Sunday, we'll be back reacting to the Xbox Showcase. But we're not talking about Xbox today. We're talking about Jeff Keighley's show. We're talking about what he has up his sleeves. And before we even went live, I was questioning what if he comes out on stage without sleeves, and Bless didn't like it. But Bless,
No, I liked it. I liked it too much.
He did
yeah.
like it.
Oh,
I
God.
think he was saying he couldn't say what he was thinking because he's hot and bothered.
I got it. But just, can you imagine if Jeff came out without sleeves?
I love it.
It would just be such a like shock. You know what I mean?
It's
do you think-
summer. It's relaxing. You know?
Yeah, Game Fest look.
Yeah.
Sunglasses, just a Hawaiian shirt, no shirt on underneath.
Yeah.
it.
See, my reaction turns into, should we find him help? Like, is there something wrong
Wow.
with Jeff?
Wow.
Like, is this a midlife crisis sort of thing?
If he didn't have sleeves.
Yeah. On the Summer Game Fest stage?
Yeah.
Barrett agrees with me.
I mean, it's been real hot recently.
What if it is he's wearing like a suit, but the sleeves are just cut off? Like, it's not like he's wearing.
I mean, that would be amazing.
It's not like he's wearing a tank top. He
Yeah.
just cut the sleeves off.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm not predicting that, but maybe somebody else will, because this is our predictions episode of the Kind of Funny Gamescast, and this is the Kind of Funny Gamescast. Each and every weekday, we get together to talk about the biggest reviews, previews, and topics in video games live on YouTube, Twitch, and podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, please support us with the Kind of Funny membership. There's never been a better time to get it. Summer Game Fest week is always full of super exciting stuff and a whole bunch of great content. If you want to get that content ad-free and an exclusive daily Greg way, you got to go to Patreon, YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcast. Get the membership. For a chance to be part of this show, though, submit your thoughts, opinions, and whatever else as YouTube Super Chats as we go. Today, I'm looking for your Summer Game Fest Keighley Showcase predictions. Let us know what you think will or won't be there, and we will let you know what we think about your prediction. A little housekeeping for you. Like I was saying, we're throwing a Switch 2 launch party on Wednesday, going into Thursday morning. Tune in as we pick up, unbox, and play our Switch 2s for the very first time. We don't know exactly when this is starting yet, but assume around 7 or 8 p.m. Pacific time. Right?
100%. Yeah, it's either going to be right probably before 8 o'clock or right before 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Shout out to Roger, who probably watched a tutorial to get this look and then put it on every one of the aspects of the graphic.
He wanted something a little different. You know what I mean? Like, let's just get out there. Let's
You wanna get
stand out,
weird.
dude. Show up, show out. You had Games Daily already. After this Gamescast is going to be a banger episode of the KF podcast. Then after that is going to be a solo Andy stream playing a little Elden Ring Night Raid, unless people join him. Who knows?
Looking at him right now.
Oh, me?
Come on,
I gotta go to
this is
court.
your chance.
I got things to do.
If you're a Kind of Funny member, Snow Mike goes big with this month's Patreon exclusive poster made by the incredible Panda Musk. Of course, it is a new month, which means it is a new exclusive Panda Musk poster. This is awesome. Very
Posing this question to Tim and Andy, do you know what this like art style and vibe is pulling from? Do we know?
No. but I like it. It's very different.
I love it. I love this art style from Panda Musk. Man, truly a chameleon.
Yeah.
You know, the Nitro Rifle poster was all Cowboys Bebop, 90s anime looking vibes. This is I don't know what it reminds me of, but it reminds me of maybe the Cartoon Network show, the little kid, he's got a little pointy hat.
Adventure Time?
Wizards of Waverly, no.
Wizards of Waverly Place.
No.
Hey, Arnold?
It's a recent show that everybody loves. It's like one of those
Over the Garden Wall.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I fucking love Over the
That's
Garden
the
Wall.
one. It kind of just, he looks like I don't know. Maybe I don't know the art style from that show
See,
as much as I thought I did.
I said, thank goodness you're here, the video game.
Okay.
People are saying rocket power. Yeah, I can see rocket power.
I don't know if I see rocket
It's
power.
extreme exports, baby.
I guess,
the
yeah, with the
90s
snow.
back
Yeah,
in snow
maybe
form.
Rocket Power, possibly.
God,
Beautiful.
Rocket Power reboot. I want to see what Otto's up to as an old man.
Oh,
How
no
are his
good.
knees doing?
No
you know?
good. Yeah. He's in jail.
How many
Most
drugs
likely.
has Twister done?
Someone in chat asked, no mic on the stream. No, shocker, he went to Florida and got sick.
Oh, I was gonna ask, but like the fact that nobody brought up his name in the last like 30 minutes of me being here, I thought something went wrong.
I was like, you
I
gotta
just assume the worst.
homie, you gotta mask up on a 5.5-hour flight to Florida. Like that's a bad recipe for a lot of.
It really
There's
is.
just
Especially when you
circulating
go
air.
to when you go to Disney World 5 days in a row. I'm shocked he got sick.
Today's Greg Way is Greg's 20-minute review so far of Fantasy Life I, the girl who steals time.
You were welcome.
What's so funny about
I
it?
am
Tim?
laughing.
800,000 copies sold, dominating the
Laugh
Switch
it up,
charts right now.
fuckface.
Eat your
Is this
humble
the one
pie
with
now.
the $2.50
Yeah,
upgrade?
it is the one for the Switch
Okay.
too. Hell yeah, it is.
I just freaking love you sometimes, Greg. Thank you to our Patreon producers,
Sometimes.
Carl Jacobs. Yeah, only
Is that really
sometimes.
love, everyone?
Carl Jacobs, Omega Buster, and Delaney Twining. Thank you so very, very much. Today we're brought to you by X-Reel. We'll tell you about that later. Let's start with the topic of the show. Summer Game Fest predictions. We will be going around this table you are watching right now, one by one, each predicting one of 5 predictions that we are bringing to discuss today, to see who is the most accurate, who is the most brazen, who wants to have some fun, and who's just here to try to fucking get some fucking wins. Just, they love winning. I'm looking at you, Bless. I'm looking
That's
at
me.
you.
Well,
That's me
I don't know
too.
the last time I won, if I'm
You
being
know?
honest.
Me
If
too.
I'm
Yeah.
being real. Chat, let me know.
Here's
When
the
was
thing.
last time I
Before we
won?
get into our predictions, how are we even feeling about this? How are we feeling about Summer Game Fest and predictions?
There's too many things happening right now for me to really feel anything.
Yeah.
Like
Too much chocolate.
all I can think about right now is Elden Ring Night Rain. And it doesn't even feel like it's happening at the end of this week. It doesn't feel like Summer Game Fest is like that close. In addition to the Switch 2 launch, there's just like, you know what it is? I bet you I'd feel that way if we were all going to SGF, where I'd be like, oh, I have a flight in the future.
Yeah.
And like that's always at the forefront of my mind. But I don't know, it just doesn't even feel like it's happening this week. And maybe that's a little bit less hype on the showcase.
Do you think it's the fact that we haven't heard anything about a PlayStation thing happening?
Possibly.
Usually we would have had a PlayStation State of Play by now.
Yeah.
I
Or
feel
at
like
least no one's happening. Like, that's the thing, is this year, it's like, by this point, literally the first week of June, we would know when Nintendo's doing its thing,
Yeah.
when PlayStation's doing its thing, when Ubisoft is doing its thing. And now we know Ubisoft's not.
yeah.
Nintendo probably is not. They don't really need to even, because they just had the April event. And still rumors of a
Rumored for
PlayStation thing.
I believe that's going to happen, but like that would have happened last week in any other year. So I think it's kind of weird that they pushed it seemingly.
Embarrassing for you guys to overlook the breaking news from 20 minutes ago that IO Interactive to host IOI Showcase featuring Hitman, 007 First Light, and Mind's Eye on June 6th.
Mind's
June
Eye?
6th.
That's the night that it's going to be after Jeff's deal. Friday, June 6th at 6 p.m. They're getting their
interesting.
own little showcase. An
They're
IOI
publishing Mind's Eye,
Showcase.
aren't they?
apparently.
Yes,
What's up with
they
that
are.
game?
What's going on with
Yeah,
that?
what
game?
the fuck's
that
going
game?
on with that
Is
game?
that game-
Somebody figure it
Is
out.
it still part of Everywhere? Which
But,
is like
but now it sounds, and everywhere just being like kind of grown up
Dreams?
Roblox in terms of what it's being pitched as essentially. But now
You make your
they're
own
like
levels.
The broadcast will feature trailers, announcements, gameplay demos, and a live Q&A with figures from IO Interactive, Build a Rocket Boy Who Makes Mind's Eye, and more, alongside announcements pertaining to IO Interactive's games lineup. The studio will also share a look at its proprietary game engine, Glacier. This event celebrates our 25-year history with the Hitman franchise and shares an in-depth look at the diverse future of our studio, commented the CEO. We've prepared some truly exciting surprises. The IOI Showcase presentation will include new details for the following titles. Hitman World of Assassination. With the Hitman franchise set to celebrate its 25th anniversary this year, announcements regarding upcoming content for Hitman World of Assassination and collaborations around the Hitman franchise will be shared. Mind's Eye. Developed by Build a Rocket Boy and published by IOI Partners, Mind's Eye is a narrative-driven action-adventure thriller and will be an ever-expanding player experience.
Doesn't that come out this year or this week?
Let me get there.
Yeah.
With new studio-created premium content delivered monthly, Mind's Eye will launch on June 10th, 2025.
Oh.
And then
James Burke's birthday.
007 First Light, developed by IO Interactive. 007 First Light. It isn't 007 like in his handles or one of those? James Burke? His email or something?
Oh, yeah.
Is the title of its highly anticipated
James Burke-centric week.
I want y'all to know that for the longest time, until we bullied him into getting an adult email, James Burke's professional email was straight kill a dude 007.
That's so good.
Oh, man. He's a champion coach right there. Champion baseball coach.
That's it.
That's it. Okay.
Sorry, it does say
That changes a lot of
007
predictions.
First Light set to be revealed this week. It ends at the end of its thing. Which I think is interesting because that to me sounds like they're going to still do something before.
At Summer Game Fest, absolutely. We got a trailer. Right?
Whoa.
We're going to fucking predict things or announce something. Oh, come on, dude.
Spoilers.
That's fucking baby stuff.
Wow.
That's
Jesus.
baby stuff.
God dang.
But I will say it's hard to predict this year because there is so much going on that I feel like we have a lot of answers. I think because of Grand Theft Auto's delay, a lot of other people already kind of like threw things out there and now shifting around. I feel like we have the year fairly kind of set. Like, we always go into this like, what are the questions? What games need release dates? And there are a handful, but then there's like, all right, cool. What teams could possibly announce something? I don't think there's that many options for a Jeff level event, a Summer Game Fest level event. We've seen him level up in the past, and last year I'd say that his Game Awards was the best showcase he's ever had in terms of announcements. But like with where right now, it's like I'm looking at my ideas for predictions here, and I'm not feeling like this is going to be the biggest, craziest one. But
So-
I'm hoping y'all prove me wrong.
Well, that's why we need everybody to click like on the video right now, because this video will likely be a disappointment for everybody. Just click like to help us out is what I'm saying.
Oh,
Throw us a bone.
Oh.
yeah,
sure,
throw
that's
us a little
okay.
bone.
I've heard rumblings
Oh,
through
shit.
the grapevine
Mm.
about how it doesn't feel like there's a lot of people showing up at Summer Game Fest, like the event. Like people,
Which one? The play days or the
like play days type of thing, right? Like I've had friends that are like, you know, looking around that are in the industry that are like, yeah, it seems like a lot of people are just doing their own thing. Like I've talked about going to LA every week in the month of May, and that feels like a result of people being like, oh, let's do our own thing in May as opposed to going in like
We don't want to pay Jeff to be part of his show or
Yeah.
his summer play days. So yeah, we'll do this.
one of my friends called it May Days for
Yeah.
what people are doing this month.
Yeah, when we were talking about this earlier last week, I think when you mentioned this and were telling me just over the computers, I was like, oh yeah, it's funny. I never thought about the fact that everything we're sending Bless every week to go see in LA is basically what Judges Week used to be, which is what Jeff used to run before we'd all go to E3. So it's interesting that no one stepped up to do a Judges Week before SGF.
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe we could do it, Tim.
It could be
We
us.
have a lot of free time,
That's
so
what
we
we
could
need to
totally
do.
tackle that.
Yep.
Get everybody
Yeah.
together to see these AA games.
So I want
Now
to.
here's where I want to start because
Oh,
I said before you asked me a great question.
Yeah.
You asked me a great
Answer.
question.
It was a good question.
God, you
Really
got
good
a good neck. You know what I mean?
You look
How
at
many
it,
times
Nick.
did Gia grab your neck like this a lot?
Damn.
with their tiny little hands.
I'm at a disadvantage before we even start. Okay? A
Oh, God.
disadvantage for these
Here we go.
predictions.
You know what? Same here. I know where you're going. I'm with you though. I'm with you.
I was gonna say because I'm going. Like
Okay,
I'm
right.
going to SGF Playdays for Kind of Funny while you all stay back to play Switch and get ready for that, and then react to Xbox and do all the
Yeah.
amazing stuff we're doing.
It sounded like you were framing that as, well, y'all get to sit back and have fun. I got to go
no,
do
no,
the
no,
work.
no,
Yeah.
It's just the
Relax.
fact that I've been booking the appointments and taking the calls, so I know so much I feel about SGF already. Where it's like this IO thing I just read, like I've known about that for weeks. So when we were doing it on the show and you were like, I wonder where they're going to reveal it, I went to my email and I was like, oh, this is in fact embargoed. Shit, I can't say anything about this. So it's like a weird one of what's out there and what isn't. So I feel like more than ever, my predictions are gonna be like, "Meh," or totally fucking weird over the moon shitty.
For me, it's a similar thing, not the same thing because I've not been booking events, but like for a weird reason, this is like the summer season that people have told me the most announcements.
The streets been talking,
The
man.
streets have been, their mouth's been wide open.
Yes.
They've been telling me everything.
I don't know a damn thing. So I'm pretty pumped.
How do you feel? Do you know a lot about it?
I mean, I've heard a lot of things, but not necessarily that are going to be part of Jeff's show. So, or even things that aren't going to be part of Jeff's show, which I think is always more interesting. Is like what's not there, you know. But yeah, overall, it's kind of just like I was saying. I feel this is just a kind of whatever year because there's so many more exciting things going on for me personally. Where it's like, all right, cool, yeah, Summer Game Fest is happening. The fucking Mario Kart's coming out, you know. Like I can't imagine being Andy and also having Elden Ring like that. I wouldn't be able to handle that. There's just too much stuff.
It's amazing. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Like I swear you blink and suddenly it's 1:52 and you're like, damn, 1:52 a.m. already.
Dude,
that's crazy.
When we were playing it on Friday and I looked at the time and I saw that we played for 4.5 hours, I was like, where did that fucking go?
Well, it's because every damn run is 49 minutes.
Yeah,
It
and
takes forever.
we lost like 3 runs in a row at the last
so
second.
tough. It's so tough.
Maybe
Rough
you
out
should go
there.
tell some of those reviewers who are fucking sandbagging this thing. In 80 right now in Open
You're just
Critic.
upset
fact
because
that-
you only have 10 points.
What the fuck?
The fact that
I
you
warned
draft,
you.
you
Ah,
drafted
you
that,
did. You all did. I know.
like me and
It was a
Andy
choice
didn't
first
draft
round
it.
pick.
Elden Ring. It's got the name.
Yeah.
It's got the juice.
I
I
know
want to
it is.
get into our predictions, and I want to start with Andy Cortez.
Oh shit. Well, let me get to the prediction that I feel like all of us are going to have a variation of.
Okay,
Because
sure.
it was already talked about on Games Daily today. IO Interactive, James Bond, Jimmy Bond. He's a child now. It's a prequel.
This is a chibi platformer.
Obviously they're going to show off the gameplay, blah, blah, blah. But actor walks out on stage. And the variation I'm hoping everybody has is like, let's all have an actor of who it's going to be. I think it's going to be Nicholas Hoult.
No way. Lex Luthor?
Yeah. I think Nicholas Hoult is going to be you don't cover up the face unless it's like a name of some or Robert Pattinson. But
You
the
gotta
head
pick-
shape
you gotta
didn't
pick
look
one.
like
You got to pick one.
the head shape didn't look like Robert Pattinson. So I'm going to go with Nicholas Hoult. I've looked at Robert Pattinson's head a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Expedition 33.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So he walks out there. Obviously, they showed off, and it's a big deal. And then everybody celebrates me for getting it right.
Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I
He's
like
been-
where your head's at. but
He's just been so in the running. It's like if there's another actor that has been talked about close to Idris Elba for who should be James Bond,
Aaron
it is
Taylor
always
Johnson.
Nicholas Hoult. No, but Aaron Taylor
Yeah.
Johnson.
Yeah.
He's the one that's talked
he was
about. I'm not
goddamn-
saying it's him.
He was Craven, you know? He
Unfortunately.
already got his
Moorhead.
role.
Quicksilver and Kick-Ass.
So that's my prediction.
Okay.
Are we just gonna go down
we
the
should
line
just do
of-
this one.
I think we should all just go down who the actor is going to be. Everybody has an actor.
Here's the thing.
Barrett, can you bring up the picture of James Bond himself?
There you go.
Barrett's convinced it's
Joshua
Peck,
Peck.
which I love, but I don't think
I'm not serious about that.
I have a very unserious answer, but I think it still might be my answer. It doesn't make sense, but I'm gonna say Tom Holland. Of
How
course,
does that make sense?
he's just too much. He's too
because that
famous.
doesn't make sense.
He's too expensive. You know what I mean? But like,
It's the beginning, though. It's
He's
brand
So that's
new.
why-
in a Christopher Nolan movie and 10,000 Avengers movies in the next 2 years.
but here's my thing, right? I say Tom Holland because in my brain I'm thinking of a Tom Holland like actor. I need somebody who's young, somebody who's in their 20s,
Sure.
somebody who's popping. You know what I mean? Like somebody who's British.
Timothy Chalamet, Shimmy.
And Timothy Chalamet was the other option. I was like, it's not Timothy Chalamet.
This man's head is too long vertically.
Yeah, but I
Go
don't
on.
You
know.
could still
face.
voice
We got
act.
lots
but
of good theories
again,
about that.
Yeah.
Charlie
on
Cox
Games Daily.
voices Robert Pattinson in Expedition 33. It doesn't mean that they it's like exactly their scan or whatever, right?
but
Yep.
they're
But you-
hiding the face.
But you're hiding the
Yeah,
face.
I'm thinking of a
because it can be anybody.
And that's my thing
It's
too.
because
is-
we can't hear an image.
Anybody can wear that.
That's my other thing too. Is like I think if it's Tom Holland, I don't think necessarily that he's the voice actor. I think he's just the face.
oh my god, that sucks.
And then
I know
Timothy
it sucks.
Chalamet.
I know it
Fucking
sucks.
suck.
But like, I don't know. So here's the thing, right? Because there's somebody in chat that was like, he's too young, and that is the point of this James Bond. This is a younger James Bond. This is sort of a James Bond origin story. So I'm like trying to lean younger for who the actor could be. And Tom Holland is the first person that comes to mind.
I'm sure it is, Bless. It always is.
It is.
I made my prediction on Games Daily, and I'm sticking with it. Rahul Kohli. That's who this James Bond is. I like the argument we had out there, of course, looking at this. Many people are like, oh, come on now, the silhouette. And I was like, wow, it's golden light, so maybe the person isn't a Caucasian. And then also there was this conversation that Barrett brought up that I thought was brilliant of maybe that's the bad guy. Maybe they're really turning it on its head and giving you something. You know, this is all they're doing is giving us this to get excited about and get off to the races. I love that idea.
Or the other brilliant idea, face scan. You
That
face
was a bad.
scan
We said that was a bad idea.
Yeah,
We said
face
that was
scan
bad.
your face and
Fuck
your
yeah,
James
dude.
Bond.
You
Tony
are
Hawk, I like
007
that.
James
Underground
Bond.
shit.
Damn, or maybe it's Dan Stevens. Do you know who Dan Stevens?
Oh, of course it did.
Kinda
Godzilla
the
across
head
Kong.
shape. But I also see that head shape, and I think of Jim Halpert.
Sure. Krasinski.
If you bring
Okay.
up that image again,
Yeah.
Barrett, it looks like Jim
It
Halpert's head.
does.
The ears shape, the length of the
My prediction is it
Right?
is someone
You can
that
see
none
that
of
the
us
face
know.
he's
It looks like
making
Jack
is-
Ryan when he plays Jack Ryan, you know,
Yeah.
or Reacher. Who does he play? He plays Jack Ryan.
Yeah.
Jim Halpert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bomb is in play. That was a Ben Affleck movie, but it's the same thing.
It wasn't the Russians.
I will say we're talking about a lot of like bigger actors. I do wonder if there's like a weird trepidation maybe Hollywood actors have about playing James Bond in a video game, like almost like they're like kind of like getting around like going through the official channel of being
Sure.
cast in like a movie or something like that. So I wonder if they did keep it to more of a bigger video game actor, like we were saying earlier on Games Daily.
Yeah, I predict that it's somebody that we don't know.
Hmm.
Like, even if it was like a video game voice actor that we know, I don't think it's one of them. It's the name we're gonna be like, oh, we're learning that name for the first time.
Chat kind of cooking with Andrew Garfield.
Always.
Jack
Throw my guy
Quaid.
at anything.
Yeah, Quaid.
That was Dan Stevens' skull. You can't, or Jim Halpert's skull.
Jack Quaid is inspired,
Yeah.
and he could and would do it.
Is he doing a British accent?
You have to.
I'm sure he'd nail it.
What if his parents were British? You just go like, but he lived in America. So
Yeah, yeah, it's a new origin story.
yeah.
Is James Bond is like always the same character, right? Like between the different actors, it's the same
Yeah.
guy. So I do like the idea he has an American accent, and then just somewhere along the way he was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna
There's
stop.
fun, like-
I'm gonna stop talking normal."
There's fun theories about that though, of like 007 just being the title and like
Yeah.
that it is that Sean Connery's James Bond did die because I'm not the James Bond guy, but it's what Q has been the same until they died. Like those people cycle
That's the
out.
title, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's just a title. I like that a lot. I think that's cool.
Yeah, in the most recent one, no spoilers, but they're like, they got the 006 up and then they take the mantle or whatever. Yeah, and freaking, well, no spoilers. I
Billy,
don't
we know
know.
it's James Bond though, right? We know
Yeah.
it's James Bond. Okay,
Yeah, actually,
I think we know it's
You
James
get
Bond.
renamed as James Bond. It's like when the Pope gets a new Pope
Yep.
name.
I mean,
We
here's
got an
the thing.
American Bond. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
let's move on to Blessing.
Oh, for an actual prediction?
Yes.
I mean, my prediction is actually Rahul, so don't worry about that. That's one. Count it.
All right, where do I want to start? Do I want to start big? I'll start big. You're gonna get a big PlayStation thing.
Oh,
PlayStation always shows up at Jeff's events. Sometimes with big old new games, sometimes the smaller ones, right? Sometimes you might get a Last of Us remaster. Sometimes you might get a Horizon Lego game. For the game that they're going to announce at SGF, it's going to be the God of War Greek game. It gets announced here. It is a prequel that is set in Greece. And I would compare it to something like the Assassin's Creed Chronicle games. You're getting a 2D action platformer, maybe something akin to Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
Get me my points. Get me my fantasy critic points, please. Let this be real.
I mean, is it going to come out this year?
And
Who knows?
You picture the 2D thing. It's like, It'll be like people can get real mad, big mad.
I mean, you lead off with it, right? Like, for me, it's the similar thing of a Horizon getting a Lego game.
yeah. Just don't hide it. Don't act like you're getting a God of War thing and then reveal.
Yeah.
Like just, if you jump, from
Even
the,
if,
jump
like,
from the
on
jump, you're
stage,
into it.
it's like Corey Barlog being like, oh, we're working on a new 2D God of War game, and then, like, then reveal it, like, preps it.
It's not trying to do impressions. What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
Hey, we're working on a new 2D. Classic Barlog.
It's like sounds in my brain.
And then, like, because that's the type of game that feels when it's being showed off that you're like, oh, this can't be real. And then it zooms out and it's a TV screen of Nathan Drake playing a God of War video game. Like, I just don't. I'm kind of with Tim. I feel like people would be so mad if like the new God of War entry, which isn't the new God of War entry, but to have it be a 2D side scroller would be fascinating.
I still come back to the thing of I think you need more games to come out. It's PlayStation, right? Like the big entries in these franchises take so long to make. And
6 minimum.
yeah, like 6 years minimum to make, right? And I think you want something in those in-between spaces.
Do you want to add something juicy to this prediction? Because Andy has a good point of like, if you announce this new God of War title, what have you, people are going to be kind of weird about it. People who are in the know aren't going to be, but a lot of normies out there, right, going to be weird about it. Do they launch it for free as DLC with God of War Ragnarok, just like they did Valhalla?
No, because it's too different of a game, right? Like, I feel like that would be weird to do it as a DLC kind of thing. I think it's standalone. It probably costs less, right? Maybe like $20 to $30, depending on what this looks like, right? It could be a really good ass 2D thing. Maybe you're charging $40 to $50 for it, but I think it's standalone for sure. Maybe it's free with PS Plus.
So crazy that Valhalla was free. What a good chunk of
Insane
video game.
It's weird with the, plus I'm with you that PlayStation shows up, but like with the rumors of a state of play, that does complicate this a bit. But I feel like PlayStation does
they've done that
exactly.
years in a row.
Yeah. So I think the God of War thing, even if it is a 2D thing, which I'd be stoked for, is too big for this type of thing. Having said that, Game Awards 10-year anniversary, they did have Intergalactic. Like they pulled that off. And like,
year before that, they announced the Valhalla at the Game Awards thing.
Yeah.
You want? I can jump off that if you want.
Go for it.
I'll bring you down a notch. You want something more PlayStation-y since they'll be there. They're confirmed. They're on the.
They are.
My whole thing's based off
Little
the media
logos
partners. Exactly. PlayStation will show up, and what they'll do is say, "Here's a new Astrobot World releasing right now, and it'll be summer themed."
Love that.
Oh, cute.
Yeah,
Little
just like they
beach
did that
theme.
holiday one they did. Yeah, go out to the beach, have jump on the lawn chairs and all that jazz. Beach chairs.
Are the Final Fantasy characters finally in it?
No, too big.
They're too big?
That's too big. They wouldn't do
Too
that.
big?
Yeah.
I think they will be.
Okay.
I do.
Maybe it'll be the Persona 4 folks in their outfits from the beach. Barrett knows.
I think they're already in there.
But in their beach outfit now. I said.
Oh,
Did I
I see,
stutter?
I see. Yeah, I guess.
Did he
But you want
stutter?
the Astrobots in the beach outfits?
I mean, they're the Astrobot Persona 4.
I feel like
Characters
that's
in
just
the-
tough to do. You know?
Oh, no.
Are you
They're such
accept?
definitive things.
Are you accepting Tim's tack on like add-on thing of Final Fantasy characters being there? Because if you do accept that in the official rulebook, that is extra 2 points. If it is true,
No, I'm rejecting it. I don't want that.
are you
So you're
accepting
saying
it or
for
not?
sure that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So if
I'm
you're
saying
so
for
if,
sure.
if you're wrong about that, you don't get any points.
Well, I guess I'm going to start with the big crazy one because we are talking about Final
PlayStation.
Fantasy here.
Oh, okay.
And I got to say it before someone else does or doesn't say it. Will Final Fantasy VII Remake 3 be announced here? Probably not, right?
No.
But you start to look back at some dates and it starts to paint a little picture here, boys. Let me take you on a journey.
Oh shit! I thought he had I thought he was gonna have like a video package prepared. Or something.
Remake came out on April 10th, 2020, and then a year later, in June, Remake Intergrade came out. Right, the like DLC, the expanded like next gen version, and all that stuff.
Right.
1 year after that, we got the announcement of Rebirth. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you still.
So where we're at now, since we know we're not getting DLC for Rebirth, and everything that the director has said is that we are closer to 3 than 2 was to 1, this June would be, if following the pattern, an acceptable time to announce this thing. They've been at all of the Jeff Keighley shows in recent years, multiple times, coming back with Rebirth, right? It's not out of the realm of possibility. What is more likely? Them actually finally announcing it's coming to Xbox.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
you know, we already know that it's coming to Remake, at least is coming to Switch 2. They have said that the series is coming to Switch 2. We do not have a date. So I do think that there is a possibility in the prediction that I'm going to put down because fuck it, I'm feeling spicy.
He's feeling it.
We get the date for Remake on Switch. And I think that we will get the announcement of the name of whatever the third one is. Maybe a teaser or whatever, but the name is the thing that I think will be announced.
Damn, that's really good because I think the way that you sort of play it out, the way you structure this reveal,
Yeah.
is you show Final Fantasy first, and you get everybody go, oh shit, they're showing off the third one, and then it's like, oh, this is just them announcing it's coming to the other platforms. God dang, okay, we got our hopes a little too high. Pivot, fucking, 180, 360 no scope, and then they go. But also, You get like a little piano playing or whatever the fuck. Oh man, that would be so cool too.
And Andy, I don't know if you remember the last time they did that, but it was when they announced Rebirth, and it was
Along
the
with
remake of Crisis Core,
Yeah.
and then it was like, but also, and then it was Rebirth. So I think that we're on the earliest end of this being possible, but it is entirely in the realm of possibility of being announced at this event. And I think that Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 is less sacred of an announcement than the other two. I think that we're here. You know what I mean? Like, we know it's happening. We believe it's going to come out in a timely fashion because they've now proven that over the last couple years.
And we've heard plenty of reports that over the last year or so, not even just reports, just straight up from the devs being like, we are in such a rhythm right now. Like, we have Unreal 4 working at like the best it can be right now. All of us are just in a rhythm right now, and they're just kind of like cooking exactly what the end of this game is. Now, right here, I want you to do this. We've done a bunch of these guesses before. Final Fantasy VII : blank. What's it going to be?
So, Remake had its final song when you faced Sephiroth was called One Winged Angel Rebirth.
Right. Okay.
Rebirth was then called Rebirth. Rebirth's big song ended with, there was two, which makes it complicated. One Winged Angel Reborn.
Oh, shit.
And Aerith's theme, Return to the Planet.
It's Return.
Return is what I think is most likely.
I like Reborn though.
Rebirth, Reborn.
Yeah, good
Yes,
point.
so,
Good
yeah.
point. Good point. Good point.
It would have been.
Take a sip of that coffee. You wanted it.
They really fucking wasted Reunion on Crisis Core.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
It just was such an unforced error. I feel like after the fact, 6 months after the game came out, they're like, "Damn it, we
didn't
Phil
know we
was
were
right.
gonna do a
We should've
third
listened to
one."
him."
Yeah. And Reunion has been like a core thing in Final Fantasy VII lore forever. Like, that's the
Yeah.
entirety of Advent Children. So, yeah, it is weird they used it up, and I don't think they'll use it again. Other ones people have talked about are Reclaim or Resurrect, which would, if they called it Final Fantasy VII Resurrect, people would go insane. Like, absolutely. The theories would break
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
you know? But I don't think that they have the balls because I don't think that they
Resurrect.
say it would be some weird shit, you
Yeah.
know? Barrett, where you at with it?
Resurrect would drive people insane, especially my personal roller coaster with Rebirth and what Rebirth did and what it chose to do and not do, and that whole connotation of the first two games of what it wants to do differently and what it wants to do the same, and being stuck in the weird middle. If they called it Resurrect, Jesus fucking Christ, man. No. Please no.
I'd be fucking hype. You have any thoughts?
No. It sucks. They can't do Reborn or Rebirth. Reborn.
Your speakers are
start
not
flying.
malfunctioning right now.
Andy Cortez. What's your next one?
Gosh. I mean, so many, There's a lot of obvious ones. But I want to get just a tiny bit horny. Not like too crazy. Yacht Club's going to be there.
Yeah.
And everybody assumes Mina the Hollower will be there. I think we get a look at Shovel Knight 64 or whatever this 3D thing is going to be. For the past couple years, they had already put up looking for 3D artists on job searches on LinkedIn and all that sort of stuff. I think we finally get the first look at it. It's going to be Mina the Hollower first with the release date, and oh shit, finally this game's coming out. We know when it's coming out, and then you get the glimpse at that little cute boy in that freaking blue suit, Mega Man. I think it happens. I think we finally get a look at it. Is it called Shovel Knight 64? I don't know. That's like we've just kind of internally been calling it. That's like our code name, obviously, around the industry.
Us.
Andy's chat.
Well, it's just like no, it's just when you hear that they are making a 3D game, or you assume they are making a 3D game, and I think they even kind of confirmed that on their little showcase whenever they had the showing off kind of
It was all the roadmap of everything.
It was like a 10-year anniversary sort of thing or whatever. I think it happens here, and it will not be in Yuka Replay or whatever this. Yeah,
Replay.
Yeah, I don't know that we ever see that the Shovel Knight 3D game. Like, I don't think that that actually makes as much sense as us playing the game and be like, oh yeah, imagine. I just feel like their skill set is so, for Shovel Knight specifically, in that 2D world. I think that we would sooner get a Shovel Knight 2, like full on actual just sequel. Just because I feel like there's higher potential for it to sell and like be good as well. Like the space of the 3D platformer, I think is has leveled up so much in the last 10 years of like, it better be fucking Astrobot if you're putting something out there, or else I just feel like it's not going to have that same level of like, oh shit. But also Yacht Club have done incredibly impossible things. So, but I do think Meet in the Hollow was there with a date.
Yeah.
This year?
Yes.
Because I need that. This critic needs it, baby.
Yeah. What do you think, Bless? You think we're seeing Shovel Knight 64?
I don't know. I don't have much of an opinion on Shovel Knight. I'm weirdly like, I've never gotten around to like really experiencing Shovel Knight like that. Which is funny because it would be my type of shit. But like, I think it'd be cool, right? Like, I think as far as would a Shovel Knight 64 excite me, like for sure, as somebody who's way more into like a 3D platformer type experience. So like, I'd want it to happen, but yeah, I don't know. I don't have any big opinion on it. I think also Meet in the Hollower, I would expect to see more from that than we see before we see like a big brand new game.
Yeah, I'd be hyped to see a 3D platformer for sure.
Oh yeah,
I think it's unlikely.
I just like, who are they hiring? Why were they looking for 3D artists? That's I can't get my mind away from
counted
that.
hours. Bless.
Yes. Persona 4 rerun is happening. It gets announced. It gets a year. It's coming out in 2026. It features all of the English cast. All right, so you have the return of Yuri Lowenthal. You have the return of.
But they said they weren't going to be there.
They did. They said they weren't going to be part or returning for the Persona 4 remake, and that's because Rerun isn't a remake. Rerun is way more of a large, almost like a retool, reimagining. Right,
Rebirth.
A remake.
a rebirth, a reunion. No, they're going in and like I would say this is a golden / royal style. Like we're going in and like being additive to this game and also retooling quite a bit of this game to modernize and stuff, similar to what they did with Persona 3 Reload. But then also at the same time, I think they're going to go in and add new story beats / edit certain story beats, like heavily edit certain story beats.
They need to.
Because they need to. Because as much as I love Persona 4 Golden, it's like a top 15 game of all time for me. That game also has certain character arcs that are very homophobic and very problematic. And so I think this is their chance to go in and make that stuff right. And also, like, I think treat this as a bigger thing as far as like it not just being a remake, it being another step forward for the Persona 4 story, which gets hyped because when you look at the voice cast, right, like we saw the tweets from Yuri Lowenthal and Aaron Fitzgerald, but then you look at like Kanji, who's played by, I believe, Matt Mercer, right?
Yes.
Troy Baker originally, and then
Matt Mercer picked up for the animation, and then Persona 4 Arena, I think.
Yes, and so like I think a remake of Persona 4, at least on the English side, has a lot of potential to like really lean on the voice cast to like hype this up and make this a big release.
And have you noticed, I think it was Mike Minotti who had this pointed out to him, and he posted that the order in which the actors have posted is the order in which you get those party members in the game, which, it feels like this is a very weird marketing ploy somehow. It is unfortunate, though, because you completely lost that point, Bless. Mm-hmm. This was the wrong show to make that prediction for.
Do you think it's happening at Xbox?
100%, because that's where Persona 3 Reload was announced.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah, I thought about that.
Against that for me, and I'm still, my money's on Xbox. The Xbox Showcase can only have so much. Like that's the problem. Is like now that they own so much, like having partner things, I think is going to be like they need to put them somewhere else. So that's my only thought process on maybe we see it at Jeff's show. But
yeah. I can see. I mean, I can see it happening at either, right? Like, I understand the leaning towards Xbox because of the Persona announcements we got last year. I think for me, I'm like, all right, how ongoing is that agreement / partnership? Is that a thing that is like, all right, as Xbox, we want to really lean into Persona for the years to come, or if it was just that moment of the thing? No matter what, like, this is a prediction for the next week, but I guess SGF, since it's the SGF prediction show, it's gonna happen.
Yes, Gregory.
Can I just get in real quick? At the end of the Yacht Club Game Presents from June 14th, 2024, almost a year ago now, says they said that they are working on a brand new Shovel Knight adventure that takes the game to a new dimension.
Another dimension.
Possible the
Another
third one.
dimension.
There you go. Maybe you're right.
Third one.
40.
Gregory.
Your chair shakes.
The Nintendo Switch 2 arrives this week, one day before SGF. While we have been excited for Nintendo's latest foray into console and / handheld gaming,
What is this? What's he doing?
we have
You saw the
all
camera
said,
on him.
we have all said over and over and over again, where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
No.
This will be the show
Mm-mm.
where Nintendo announced that Animal Crossing is in fact getting its little free update for
Zero
the Switch
chance.
2.
Zero
why,
chance.
Why not, Tim? Let's have some fun up there. Nintendo Switch 2's
Have
on
some
there.
fun.
Give
Have
him
some fun.
something big. Give Jeff something big.
Give him something big.
Give him a
Jeff
big
goes
thing.
big.
Let him have his big thing. Jeff, do you want a big thing?
Give him something big, man.
Don't wear short sleeves. Don't wear long sleeves. Wear no sleeves. This is my pie in the sky dream. I
Yeah.
know it won't happen either.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
the New Horizons will not get its Switch 2 announcement there, but I'd like to.
I
dream.
thought you were gonna bring a Silk Song.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say Silk Song as well.
No, I don't care about that.
You kept saying like we keep on wondering where it's at. I'm like,
Me and Joey
oh.
keep on wondering where it's at. Why are all these other games getting enhanced Switch 2 editions? We're getting
It will.
free updates for little ones.
I mean, you just prefaced it like as if the whole industry is clamoring. For
They
it.
are. It's me and Joey. That's 20% of the company. What else do you want from us? You say no. What is your reasoning here? We're just not going to get anything because we're a year, 2 years away from a new Animal Crossing?
My reasoning is I think that the small handful of games that are the most obvious important Switch games that don't have the enhancements yet are going to get Switch 2 editions with more content. Smash Brothers, Animal Crossing. Like, this is a good thing, I think. Because it's not
When do I
just
get
going to
it,
be,
though?
it
I want
runs
it
a little
now.
bit better. I don't know. I mean, I feel like
I want it now.
Tim,
I
he
feel
wants
like
it now.
He
I
wants
would
it
not be
now.
surprised if the
Give it to me
next
now, Jeff.
the next direct, like that's the next real direct, like not a
Sure,
partner
sure,
showcase
sure,
or whatever. Like I imagine that they'll do that because this year's just already packed with like the game releases, and they're treating the Switch 2 editions as if they're new titles. So far, like almost every month has one with Kirby and Mario Party and the 2 Zeldas. So
Yeah.
there are some open months that I do think would be very nice for a Animal Crossing New Horizons plus fucking Yoshi's Woolly World. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a good title.
Something like that. All right, I'm going to stick with my kind of like unlikely predictions, but I want to believe, and I think it is time, and I think it's inevitably going to show up somewhere within the next year. So why not here? Marvel vs. Capcom's been gone a while. New games. But it did come back recently, and everyone's all stoked. The brand is not dead. However, I unfortunately think it kind of is. I think we get a Capcom fighting game.
Oh.
But I don't think Marvel is involved.
Interesting.
But I think it is in the style of a Marvel versus Capcom.
Huh.
You don't think it's Capcom versus another brand?
I think it's just a Capcom versus game. I think they have enough IP and enough brand, and it's been a long enough time that we haven't seen all those characters fight. And it's not necessarily like the most exciting thing because I think that a lot of people want that Marvel, but I think that this is kind of a step towards proving, hey, we can do the fun crossover thing and make it actually work again. And then the next step would be bringing back the Marvel side of it.
Bring back the Marvel side in order to kind of prove themselves.
Yeah, prove
okay.
themselves with the Capcom fighting game that they still got it outside of Street Fighter, and you know what I mean. Like this in terms of the crossover type fighter, and then the next game being a Marvel versus Capcom, maybe even like straight up calling it Marvel versus Capcom 4.
I'm going way bigger with it. I think that they are including the MCU and the rest of Disney.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Yeah.
Capcom
Disney's-
versus Disney.
Yeah, Disney's so on board with fighting games.
Yeah.
3D style or
Unfortunately,
yeah, okay.
you know, I vastly prefer the old school pixel art. I don't think that we'll ever see that again, and I think that we're lucky that we got the ports of the classics as well. So I'll be happy with that.
You mentioned they got a bunch of IP now. Who would you really pop off for to see in this trailer where they're fighting Ryu?
I don't know, but I feel like get Monster Hunter involved. Get more like modern when we think of Resident Evil. Just they look like the remake versions, like things like that. You know,
Okay.
I just feel like we're due for like what is the state of Capcom at this point? We've loved Capcom the last 10 years, and I feel like that wasn't the case really going into Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. And
Little
they-
Onimusha?
yeah,
Oh.
exactly right. Yeah, so a lot of potential there. I don't know that now's the time, but also why the fuck not?
Why the fuck
the
not,
fuck
everybody?
not?
Can we have some
Everybody.
fucking fun?
Why not?
Yeah. All right, Andy, I want to get to your predictions but I want to do that after a word from our sponsors. This episode's brought to you by X-Reel. Y'all know that a few months ago, my life changed forever when I brought a pair of X-Reel 1 AR glasses on a long flight to New York. I legit could not believe how easy it is to use and high quality my experience was playing games, watching movies, TV shows on the plane without just too much extra stuff around me, or especially not a giant goofy headset around my head. No joke, this is my favorite new tech product in years, and it has earned a permanent spot in my travel bag. It is only hard to believe that it works as well as I'm saying until you try X-Reel 1 AR glasses for yourself. And then you will see that the future is now. The tech is here. Connect X-Reel 1 glasses to wherever you are playing, whether it's a handheld console, a PC, phone, home console. You just get a massive 150-inch virtual screen anywhere, anytime, for any game. Gaming on the go like a long-haul flight, you need the X-Reel 1. Neck starting to hurt from staring down at your handheld? We've all been there. You need an X-Reel 1. A screen as big as your wall. Instant plug and play with all of your devices via USB-C. Built-in audio with sound by Bose, anchoring your screen anywhere in space. It's awesome. It just works. Zero latency at 1080p full HD. These are what make X-Reel 1 a must-have. And we hear X-Reel 1 Pro is coming soon with an even bigger virtual screen. Hit our link below to get your X-Reel glasses today. There's nothing better than when a sponsor of Kinda Funny is something that we are legitimately obsessed with, and that is exactly the case here with X-Reel. You're going to hear me talking about these forever. Go to xreel.com for more.
And we're back to go through our SGF predictions for what's happening at Friday's showcase. But remember, ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, we need yours as YouTube super chats. If you're watching live right now, you can go to youtube.com/kindafunnygames. Super chat your predictions, and Blessing will say, hey, that's good. And Andy will say, hey, that's not good. And then me and Tim will decide if it was good or not good.
Andy Cortez, what's your next prediction?
My next I don't know where I want to take this.
You couldn't even get through the sentence or he freaked out about
I don't know where I want to take it. Because I'm worried about you all stealing them. You know what? I'm going to go with the obvious ones because I feel like it's an easy point. I've already done a couple of, random ones. We know that freaking NeoWiz is going to be there, and I think we see the Lies of P DLC with the final release date. And the release date will be... I don't think...
now. It's out today.
I was going to go, I think September, because that technically still feels like summer 2025, right? Like the fall starts in October, I believe. Last I checked.
Last time I had a conversation about this, it went bad,
How so?
I love what just happened right there is Andy was like trying to poke a bear, but he wasn't sure which bear he was poking. And then he looks at Bless.
He's like, he
and
knows
I
there's
saw
a
Bless
bit
have a
here.
crisis of just like, he's like, I know I thought about this, but I don't remember what side I was on.
Yeah,
is that what just happened?
No, because it was a thing where, like, I believe I try to imply that August was kind of like fall.
Oh,
yeah,
People got real mad.
No.
I'm with you, Bless.
Like, and we're talking about releases, like the fall releases. August, it's kind of like, it's a little bit in there.
No.
October's when it starts.
If you
right?
tell me, like, oh man, we got big plans for the fall and it happens in August, I'm not mad.
Okay.
I'm not mad.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I think I think August or September is likely when this thing comes out. I think they want to be further looking away to just like how the rest of the scheduling looks. Metal Gear Solid 3 coming out at the end of August. I think Lost Soul aside, not that they're worried about that, but that's just another type of one of these games that could take away from them. I think possibly early September, mid-September is when we see the Lies of P release date, but we finally freaking get it.
I think it's the school year that fucks me up. You know what I mean? Like,
Because that's Mike's argument. Mike's argument is like, Slappy School starts back up late
it's
August.
the fall
It's
semester,
fall.
and like the semester starts in
But
late
that's because
August.
most of the semester is in fall, not because it starts in
And I
fall.
understand that, right? But then let's call it the fucking summer, then going into fall fucking semester.
That's
Damn
too
right.
wordy.
Yeah, it's too. It's not catchy.
Come
enough.
on.
I'm just saying, you know.
So I just had to
is
go with a
right.
quick little safe one.
Yeah,
That's my quick little safe.
I like that. I like
The
that.
safe bet.
Bless.
I'll do an unsafe one.
Ooh.
But it's not like it's nothing crazy except for probably me. You know what I mean? Like, I think Magic the Gathering shows up. I think they
Hell
announce another video game collaboration, and that collaboration, ladies and gentlemen and MBs, is From Software.
Oh my.
We're getting Elden Ring cards. We're getting Dark Souls cards. Dark Souls 2, not Bloodborne. Not Bloodborne.
No, so Sony.
Because it's Sony. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe even Armored Core, but who knows? Probably not Armored Core, but
Armored Core though.
Armored Core cards would be fucking sick. But that's a different set. That's a different set.
I would be at that same excitement level as Tim is for the Final Fantasy cards.
I mean that's a good prediction because I feel like it's like not.
It's not impossible.
It's not impossible. It's not like likely, but it's you thinking about
and
things.
That's the thing is,
You're
like,
thinking
I'm
about
putting things together that could happen.
yeah,
I like that.
That's the thing is like I say unlikely because I'm not going off of any reports. I'm not going off of any like speculation or whatever. I'm just speaking from the heart or a thing that I want to speak into existence.
It's the next logical thing.
Yeah.
It's the thing that people always go, when is this next thing going to happen? And that's
my
that
thing
would
is
be a perfect
I was going
reveal.
through the video game IP that makes sense to collaborate right with Magic the Gathering, and I think something that's fantasy, something that kind of like
Simpsons
has a
and
very
Run.
dedicated fan base, also what can hit on the level of something like a Final Fantasy, and I think an Elden Ring, like a Dark Souls kind of thing, makes a ton of sense and would get people hella hype. Especially when you think about like all of the From Software bosses that would be individual cards, like brother, like I'm
Damn.
getting excited just thinking
Yeah.
about it.
They also did SpongeBob though, which is like
Yeah.
they're willing to go anywhere.
They're
That's
willing
true.
to do anything, man.
I was really unhappy with the art on those cards.
Yeah,
The
very
SpongeBob ones.
uninspired.
They are original art though. Like they're just taken from scenes, but they had to redo all that shit. So like you can see more things in the background of
porous.
certain scenes and shit.
I
So
really wanted them to look. Yeah, you know when in an episode of Ren and Stimpy when they really want to show how gross somebody's face is and it's like so weirdly ultra detailed. I was hoping for like that level of
I
fidelity.
mean, you could have also just used the example of SpongeBob, which also just does that.
Yeah, but Ren and Stimpy's way
yeah, Ren and
gross,
Stimpy's
sir.
the OG. Yeah.
Okay.
Greg.
This is a boring one, but I think it'll get me the point, and I'm excited about it. Monster Hunter Wilds comes out and debuts the first trailer for their next title update 2. We know it's coming this summer. We're on the other side now of the collaboration. When you look at the Monster Hunter Wilds roadmap for what was coming, they had the one before title update 2 was in fact the Capcom crossover, which we of course now know to be Street Fighter, and then various patches, fixes. So we're on the doorstep here of what will happen in title update 2, and I think it's a great time to come out and remind everybody, hey, we're halfway through the year. This was a lot of you really liked this in the beginning of the year. Here's the next big monster, the next big area, the next big whatever we're doing to get you into it.
Waffle in the Run says Switch 2 release for Monster Hunter.
Great question. I temper my expectations still because I feel like we don't know how things are. You guys kind of do because you played it with Cyberpunk. What is it actually going to look like? How is it actually going to run? How much of an improvement is this going to feel like as we play something on Switch 2? And I'm a little hazier on that.
I think the big thing is I forget the source of this, but the ridiculous tweet that went out that was just like the 3 phases of the Switch 2's games this year. And it was just like Nintendo stuff, the third parties that are there. And then there's going to be a wave of third parties that got dev kits later. I imagine this is probably an example of that. Having said that, clearly Capcom did have access because Kinitsugami
Yep.
is
Path of
coming out.
Goddess.
Path of Goddess is
Yeah,
coming out, so.
I think it feels like a very sure bet that it will be on Switch 2.
You think so?
Yeah.
But like then announcing that here?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Yeah, especially with how with Cyberpunk looking as good as it does, but still running at 30. Like they will cap it at 30 still, and you'll have it at 1080p, maybe upres to 1440 or something like that. I think it's definitely possible.
We'll see.
My next one, sticking with this is more for me than anybody, but Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 will be there. This group of Activision always partners with Jeff, and Jeff always treats them well and gives them a lot of stage time, whether it's Crash Bandicoot coming out for God knows what reasons. He's always there. And I am questioning what they could possibly show that's exciting. I also know full well they could just show something that's not exciting, and that's
100%.
probably the more
Yeah.
likely thing is just, hey, here's a reminder this game's coming out in a couple weeks, Game Pass, blah, 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 all that stuff. I do think, though, they're going to want to tie it with something that is exciting. They're running out of those things. They already announced that Bam's coming back as a secret skater. Tony Hawk 1 and 2 didn't really have secret skaters, which was a big bummer because the Tony Hawk franchise, known for the Darth Mauls and Iron Mans and Spider-Mans and blah, blah, blah. I feel like there's more hope here because the DLC is coming with Doom stuff, characters, and music. My dream and hope for one was that Crash Bandicoot was going to be in it. I think they're going to make it happen now.
Oh, shit.
I think Crash Bandicoot will be a secret skater in Tony Hawk, and they'll announce that. And if not Crash, a secret. My prediction is a secret skater that's not just a skater will be announced for Tony Hawk 3 and 4.
A dude in a crash suit.
A mascot of
my
some
dream.
sort.
I would love that.
Just a dude in a crash
I would
suit.
love if it was the dude in the crash.
Oh
suit.
yeah, that's what I had
awesome.
in my head.
But yeah, I think that we'll get some secret skater that is more in line with the Doom stuff they're doing as opposed to the Andy Anderson or Ben Margera that we already know about.
I like it.
SpongeBob.
I like it.
I mean, yeah, SpongeBob is in the secret level thing, but
Yeah, and it's weird. I would personally think it'd be weird, Tim, if we get that, and that's all we get of a SpongeBob collaboration.
Yeah,
it's such a
that's
weird
wild.
choice.
I know.
I mean,
really weird.
We also are not even talking about the possibility of these IPs going, becoming just costumes and things that you wear.
Yeah.
Like you could just have a SpongeBob shirt or the Crash Bandicoot suit that
Yeah.
you could put on any skater,
I mean, they're doing that with like Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Like, there's Taco Bell outfits in the game because
That's awesome.
anytime you grind by a Taco Bell in one of the levels, it does the gong
Live Moss.
sound.
That's fun.
Andy.
That's a great activation. We get a big fucking logo hit from software. That's not even that exciting of a reveal, but it's Night Rain DLC, or not Night Rain DLC,
okay.
but just updates to Night Rain. I think that we get shown 2 new Nightfarers that you will be playing as. Bear, do me a favor. Can you Google right now? I'm looking for his name real quick. We're gonna get 2 Nightfarers. One of them will be a spellcaster, which is a lot more conventional compared to the recluse that we have in the game right now, because that character can be a little bit more difficult to get the hang of. And then, Bear, can you Google Ingward, the Guardian of the Seal, please? Thank you. INGWARD.
What'd you just say to me?
We just don't really have a character in like a red costume. And I expect to see a character in like a cool red costume. Maybe, I look at Ingward and he looks so cool as an NPC in Dark Souls 1. I think we get a dude with a red sort of looking vibe to him.
Tell me
And-
this dude was in Dark Souls 1?
Dark Souls 1, yeah.
Really?
And then I think that we see some more glimpses at returning Dark Souls bosses for mini bosses. Little glimpses of them. And the same that we saw Nameless King from Dark Souls 3 pop up in that sort of first trailer and we all freaked out. I think we'll get like Ornstein and Smo or some of the more known amongst the Souls community as like, oh shit, those dudes are popping
Hear
up.
me out. You get one of the Guardian apes. Both of the Guardian
I don't
apes.
think they do Sekiro. I don't think we ever see
Give me
Sekiro.
any Sekiro shit.
But yeah, that's my.
They got a
It'll
Sekiro
be a
class
free
in there.
update.
If I saw the Guardian Ape, I think I would cry a little
I
bit.
think I'll turn off the game.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Demon of
Well-
Hatred.
Bless.
Is this the final prediction?
No.
Yeah?
This is second to last.
No. Oh, really? All right. Yeah, let's do it. Bloomhouse. Shows up.
Oh.
Bloomhouse
Good
shows up,
call.
and on stage is Sam Barlow. He's revealing his next game, and that is Project C. Of course, that is already announced to be published by Bloomhouse, and they announced that it is coming. I want to say later this year, but I don't have it in me, so I'm going to say 2026 is when it's coming. But it does star a big name actor, and I don't have any specific guesses of a big name actor. But I'll just throw out
Lil Dicky.
no. Because it's going to be horror. You know what I mean? Here's the thing. A little
Josh
Dicky
Peck.
horror would be fucking fantastic. Josh Peck. I was going to say Isabella Merced. Or like that kind of actor. Like, I wrote down Jenna Ortega, but like that's similar to my Tom Holland thing of like, too big.
Too big now.
Too big. But like, somewhere in that tier of actor. You know what I mean?
Isabella's on the come up right now.
Isabella is on the come up.
Last of Us. Hawk Girl.
That's my prediction.
I like it. Greg.
I really like that one. I think Jeff's gonna once again get a big get in quotes. I mean, you know, if you think it's a big get from Microsoft as a way to promote their show. I think similar to how the Game Awards revealed the Xbox Series X way back in the day. I think this is where we get a glimpse at the Microsoft Asus ROG Ally 2, whatever they're calling it. I sent it to Assets, the thing that
That would
you
make
know
sense.
leaked forever ago. I think you do a pan over here. You know, some sexy little thing. I think the screen shows this rumored Xbox Microsoft OS for it. And I think then it's basically like more details on Sunday.
I like that. Well, it's even interesting you say that. I like it being here because it doesn't feel like an Xbox Showcase type announcement. They don't really focus on hardware and OSs and all that stuff traditionally in their summer showcase. So I think, having that moment be here is good.
You think it's deeper than mine, though? You think they're actually going to go into it more? Is it?
I mean, I don't think they need to. I think it's kind of self-explanatory. I feel like, like you announce it, you show it, you make people that understand know exactly what it is, and if they don't, they're like, oh, is that an Xbox handheld? They look in the press release, watch the videos on their own time, and that's where their answers come. But I do like that. I do think that we see that this week, and I think it'll be a Jeff's thing.
Hell yeah.
I'm jumping off yours with more Xbox
Grab my
things.
hand.
They're touching hands right now for the audio listeners.
I think that at the Jeff show, we will get Xbox game announcements coming to PS5 and the Switch. I think that'll be the focus for those.
I like that.
Again, going back to Xbox Showcase, they got too much shit to talk about.
Is this where I get Starfield?
This is where Starfield happens. Starfield PS5, and a couple announcements of games coming to Switch as well. Maybe that includes Halo Master Chief Collection and some of the other ones. But yeah, I think that we will get, my prediction to like not just have this be the most obvious thing in the world, I think that we will get Starfield on PS5 specifically, and at least one other title that is coming to Switch too as well. And like just those announcements, whether it's the ports or just Forza was on PS5, now it's also coming to Switch, or some of their games getting more answers there, because I do think that we're gonna hear them talk about PlayStation and Switch during their showcase, but I still think that we're in the end of that period of just kind of like tying the bows on some things of just where we're at currently.
Is there any mention of a Halo in this?
I mean, I think Halo Master Chief Collection is not unlikely. And if they announce it, I think it's Switch and PS5. The only thing that throws me off... That's one of those
where were you moments, you know?
I know. The only thing that's throwing me off on that is the Gears collection or whatever it was, just the remake of the first one. What is it, a collection or just a remake of one?
It's just a remake.
Just remake of one. That's where you start. And them throwing all those things out so close together, I don't know if that's the best move. Having said that, they keep doing that. So
more of a remake.
I feel like they keep throwing a lot of announcements, a lot of games just back to back to back to back, because that's just how much shit they have right now. But yeah, I expect some fun Xbox announcements that are for the other systems.
It's better to hide behind 40 atrocities than just one, you know?
Rewatching Andor, or like what's going on there?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I was just thinking like there's so many news coming at us. Sounds like a joke, like an anti-Xbox fan would say.
What's your final prediction?
Final prediction for me.
He's got a lot to pick from over there.
A lot to pick from. I think that we get Housemarque's Saros' gameplay shown with Rahul Kohli introducing it on stage. It just kind of makes sense to me. And again, I'm predicting this because I don't know anything about it. This isn't, we have very very strict rules here. If you know something, you don't say it.
Exactly.
See something, say something. I think that we get this gameplay, and it's just the sickest looking Returnal successor that we could have possibly wanted.
Do we get a date?
No. A window.
Do we have a window yet? Did they say 2026
I don't
or
think
anything?
so.
Let me look at the trailer. I thought they said 2026, but
I
get a window.
thought they did too, but
maybe a seasonal window where Bless questions.
What
is August fall though?
yeah, exactly. I'm like, so
those.
does that include August?
Yeah.
The same.
The biggest thing for that is Jeff likes celebrity, and Jeff likes big games, and Jeff likes PlayStation. So yes, Jeff would want that. And Raul's there, as far as I know. I think he's in LA at this point. So it's like that is possible. But I do believe the rumors of a state of play, and if there is a state of play, that's where that is.
Yeah.
And the Resident Evil 9 announcement.
2026, it was in the trailer.
I do think that whatever gets shown here will be you'd get extra snippets of it in the state of play. It just feels like this is right. I don't know why. It feels
I
too
like
right
the
for me.
idea of having someone on stage and debuting the gameplay and like having that moment. Like that adds value, I think, to the Summer Game Fest stage show. Bless, what's your last one?
I'm between three small ones. Like none of them are like really stand out.
Give us a three.
I was thinking about doing a three.
Do it.
This is what I'm gonna do. It's a triple threat.
Oh.
All right. All or nothing.
Yes. All right. My type of bet.
I want the full point or no point if all of these three things happen. All right. First thing, mixtape.
Big parlay.
It gets a fall release and gets me a lot of Open Critic points.
Have that.
Borderlands 4 shows us a story trailer that makes us all laugh.
Oh shit!
We all have to laugh.
Okay.
Yes. And then lastly, Directive 8020 convinces us all that it's really good looking. The game. That's the
Supermassive.
Yeah, the Supermassive game is
Oh,
coming
wow,
up. The
okay.
Dark Pictures anthology. It shows us the trailer and we're all like, damn, that looks pretty good. And then the game comes out and we're all like, all right, cool, it's like a 7.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
I like that.
I
Those are
Triple threat.
fun. That's
a
good.
combo wombo there. I like that a lot too.
Are you going to combo womble me, Greg?
Fuck no. I'm not gonna do that.
What are you going to do?
I want to piggyback off of this. Yeah, the Borderlands 4 is there, and I think they do something crazy. And I think they come out and they announce that they're, everybody's so worried about this $80 version and it was so much problem or whatever. I think they announced a $60 version of the game at $59.99.
Whoa!
No way.
And I think they go the
No
opposite.
way.
That'd be
So good.
I think it'd be,
love that.
I think it'd be a fun one. Is that everybody's worried about that. They come out and do the opposite 2K, and they're just like, it's like obviously the no frills whatever, but it's like here's a $60 version of the game, and then there is the normal 70, then there is the deluxe 180, whatever it's gonna be.
What would it be in the $60 version?
Just enough to fucking play. No extra outfits, golden keys, any of that
There's
bullshit.
no menu.
I honestly think that is one of the craziest predictions any of us has ever made.
Yeah.
Like, out of all the properties and all the publishers, 2K and Borderlands 4? No way, man.
They make enough money on virtual
Yeah.
currency in 2K.
They're gonna put out GTA 6 for like
And I think,
$100.
I agree that it's not going to happen. I just think it was
I
a
liked
fun one
it.
as I went through, and I think like the fun part about it would be to play with it, and it'd be the usual upsell of always, right? Of like here, and I even thought about them making like this is where it gets like now you're being mean of like they make a $199 version of the game that's like one level. You install the entire thing and you can't do anything but this one thing. Like that's the kind of stupid stuff the jokes that they would do. But I think
Claptrap is introducing it
leaning
or
in
something
too
like
hard.
that.
Yeah.
Wow. Spectre says the $60 not a real fan edition.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Oh, that's good. All right, where do I want to go? Yeah, we're at the point that there's just some fucking obvious ones. You know what I mean? Like, am I really going to sit here and be like, I predict that Sonic Racing Cross Worlds is going to get a release date? No shit, it's going to, okay? Guaranteed.
Arc
Take it to
Raider
the
Shadow
bank.
Drop. That's the other one.
Predict a new
That is
Sonic
the
game.
other one. What are you saying, Bless?
I said predict a new Sonic game.
It's just
Sonic
not-
Mania 2.
I don't think it's, oh my God, don't do that to me.
Man, oh my God, Tim, you would have loved this moment that me and Bless experienced at the Liza P DLC event. We're sitting with Tam, and Tam looks at me
Oh,
and we're talking about SGF.
I don't know if you could say this actually, because Tam then there was a later moment where Tam told me that it was actually true.
No, no.
Yeah. We can talk about that afterwards, but yeah,
Okay.
like,
Oh,
'cause then I get like
keep your secrets.
that Tam like told me a thing of like a franchise I care about of like, oh, this thing's happening, and like he kept like going with the bit, and I was like, you're fucking with me, and he was like, then he convinced me, and I was like, yo, that's crazy, and Tam was like, I'm totally fucking with you. Next day I get a message from Greg. He's like, yo, you want to check out this thing? And I was like, wait. I looked at Tam and I was like, he was like, yeah, I fucked with you again. It's true.
He's too much of a triple double
He's,
crosser.
yeah, he's crazy.
Fucking
Born and raised on
Tam.
Metal
Well,
Gear.
never
man.
mind then. Holy shit.
Well, all right. I want to throw one out there that I think is going to happen, and I want the fun. Like, what the hell? That seems random as shit. So I'm going to say it. Ace Combat 8. All right.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Celebrities?
2019, we got Ace Combat 7. Sky is Unknown.
Oh
And
shit.
I'm like, that's a cool name. I've never played these games, but 2019 seems like it's been a while.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I was looking at I was trying to find a franchise, and I'm like, what's like overdue? And I was like, Ace Combat sounds right. I haven't heard Ace Combat in
Yeah.
a while, right?
Hell yeah.
Bless?
I mean, not since PS4, yeah.
So
People
yeah,
said
look,
that shit was hype.
and so hey, if Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown in 2019 hit hard, I want to know what Ace Combat 8 has up its sleeves. If Jeff's not going to wear them, maybe they will.
Ace Combat also just feels like a style of game that could be gone forever.
Yeah.
It's either coming out with a new sequel or we will never see a version of that game ever again. I think we saw the last one in 2019.
Ace Combat, I'm telling
I'm
you.
going opposite.
It'll be there. It'll be there, everyone. All right, we got a lot of super chats. So I know we're running a little long, but I want to get through all of these things. So I'm going to run through these super chats and let's have a quick discussion on the likelihood of the predictions, all right?
You got it.
Nathan Maloney says Kingdom Hearts or Mike gets taken by Canada. Kingdom Hearts is very unlikely to be there, but possible. We did just get some screenshots of Kingdom Hearts 4.
I think because we got those, then that means no.
We're not going to get it.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Tim. Uncharted Wolf says it's got to be time to see toys for Bob. I'm so ready to see the Spyro game they've been working on. If we see toys for Bob, I think it'll be Xbox.
Yeah.
That'll be a nice little variety in whatever is going to be on that show.
We're doing our Xbox predictions tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guitar Hero Arrow says, if Red Dead Redemption 2 PS5 is real, please God, is Summer Game Fest the place for it? Or is that a random Rockstar Blue Skeet on a random Monday?
Skeet.
I think that's a tweet from Rockstar.
100%.
Ooh, Jurassic Park Survive in the...
Oh, yeah.
Lock it in, right?
Yeah.
Gotta see that.
Some new art. What was the Ark game? Ark Survival, the sequel?
With Vin Diesel?
With Vin Diesel,
oh,
yeah.
shit.
Ark
What's
Vin
the
Diesel
random
Evolved.
performance going to be? I feel like Summer Game Fest always has a random music
I mean,
performance.
when there's no Ubisoft thing, I wonder if there's like a I wonder if Just Dance.
When there's no room left in hell, Just Dance will walk
I guess
the earth.
was Ubisoft on the logos page? They probably weren't. I feel like they never show up to this.
But also, even when they were doing their own thing, Mike was always the one to point out the last couple of years they weren't doing the Just Dance intro.
Yeah.
Which was
I
fucking.
know it
Ubisoft
saddens me.
wasn't on this partners program, this does say round one. So there's always
Until they
reasons.
did bring back the Just Dance intro in the worst presentation they ever did.
Oh.
At the
Yeah.
Holiday Inn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I think I was the one that pointed out last time where there was no Just Dance announced at the Ubisoft event, and then like it was at the next Nintendo Switch or Nintendo Direct where they announced the Just Dance.
I don't
Well,
know.
'cause
That,
I remember,
I'm going
like-
to say there's no performance.
But I feel like and maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like there always is, even if it's just celebrating something. Because there was that one really pretty cell shaded game, and then they did a song from that. You know what I'm talking about? A lot of orange in it. They're in the desert.
Yes. Is it the one about the
Sable?
couple? No,
Yes.
Sable. That's the one.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yep.
That's what it
Did
is.
they
Oh,
do
shit,
one
man.
last year?
We get Expedition 33 songs.
See, did Tim? You saw what I saw in chat.
No.
Oh, never mind. I was gonna say Carolyn Polachek. There's somebody in chat that mentioned Kojima's gonna be there. DS2 is coming up. We know that she's made the title song.
Oh, that's
All
good.
because of
Oh,
Roger,
damn.
the tastemaker.
That's good. You know, I was making that face because Andy got me hyped. Yeah, Expedition 33. Please, just do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't
that'd
even
be sick.
give a fuck if don't announce anything. Who cares? Or announce it's coming to Switch 2. That'd be even better. Too early.
I mean, there was a lot of Expedition 33 in that Keeley trailer cut. I think there's a good chance that we
yeah,
just get some sort of performance.
that'd be sick, dude. I love that. Aaron Lime,
Man, that fucking song is crazy, man.
Aaron Lime says, no way Jeff shows off the final Metal Gear Solid trailer, but could he show off a release date for Silent Hill F? It was rated in South Korea a while back. Yeah, definitely. But also, I feel like he could show the final trailer. I don't think that there needs to be a final trailer. That game seems kind of like wrapped up marketing wise.
Silent Hill F, is that the one in the past, like way back?
I don't know.
Is
This
that
this is the new big deal one though.
Is that like, I think it's a period piece, right? I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember that.
I don't think it's a modern
What's
one.
the F stand for?
There was just a lot of like different Silent Hills being announced that one day, and I
Yeah.
get them all confused. It's like Assassin's Creed fucking Jade or whatever.
Yeah,
Never
it's
forget.
the Japan one set in the past.
Okay, got you.
Says Cyborg.
Cyborg.
Tundra Boy says Tomb Raider, Wolf Among Us 2, and Playdead's next game.
Oh, Playdead.
Where
Yeah.
the fuck is Tomb Raider?
I mean, that's the big question, right? Like, I feel like if it's alive, it'll probably be here,
Okay.
right? Because
Look.
look, if it's not announced here, it's not being announced next year. That game's dead.
We have Sansa playing her in a movie or in a show, whatever they're doing. She's getting ripped. You
Yeah,
seen her?
that's a
Look,
movie, I think.
crazy abs. Like, I think it makes sense to try to, coordinate those releases.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably not happening for a while.
Sansa.
But-
I'm doing the little fingers. Sansa.
Mhm.
Yes, it speaks out the
I
sound.
heard
Does, yeah.
Thank you.
Wolf Among Us 2, I mean, I think
No.
that's a 50-50 shot, right?
No.
At a Jeff thing, there's
I
always
just don't
a
think
chance.
it's ready. I don't think it's ready.
And then Playdead's next game.
Been a while.
It has been a
Right?
while.
Yeah. I mean, what's up with that team?
They're just everywhere making other things.
I was gonna say, I feel like every single time I hear from Playdead, it's from another studio.
Yeah.
We're like, we left and made Cocoon. We left and made Somerville.
Somerville. We always blank on the
Yeah.
name of that shit.
Rave Lord Nito says, Andy, can I get a world premiere for a project?
World premiere. World premiere. Couple different ones for me.
Now
Meyer
do it as
Katz.
Rahul doing it as 007.
Oh, Andy. World premiere.
Good.
Thank you.
It's good.
Meerkat says, I predict Pedro Pascal showing up with Fantastic Four coming out next month.
I wish, but no chance.
No.
I think so.
That's a Game Awards thing, which they've already done, I know, but that's the Game Awards.
IC Wiener says, Tim, last week you said that James's email was baseball guy 2010 or something. I demand you properly dox your friend. You are incorrect. It was Baseball King 2010. Okay,
That's his professional email.
No. He had that, but he had Straight Kill a Dude 007. His Baseball King was when that was his solution to be professional.
Got it.
After we told him Straight Kill a Dude
yep.
007 is too much.
I loved seeing
Nailed
Kevin set up the Xbox last week when Greg was going to play something, looking through all the gamer tags and going, who the fuck is Freak Nasty 22? I was like, that's Mike's other account. Like, it's his other gamer tag.
Mike Kelly here says, are we thinking Resident Evil 9? Yes, but not at Summer Game Fest.
No,
I think that's a PlayStation
Yeah,
thing.
PlayStation Showcase.
Ultimate Josh says it will be Final Fantasy 7 Return. Mark my words. If not, I'll send another $5. Thank you. I love your
Sir Chadwin
perseverance.
says Anthony Mackie will be there to announce Twisted Metal Season 2 trailer. Is my most out there prediction.
Oh, that's
terrible.
possible because we now know the date. I think it's in August, and we got a clip from it. It wasn't really so much a trailer, so I do think we're due for a trailer on that one.
What next story arcs do you think they're exploring?
In Twisted Metal,
Fucking stupid show. Why does it exist? Like, I don't. Why does it exist?
You asked that,
There's
but like,
so many shows that should be getting this treatment.
no.
I think Tim was talking. We were
They're
having a
fucking
conversation
nailing
about
it,
the
dude.
story.
It's awesome, and the story for 2 is about to be great. They're
Yeah.
doing the game. They're finally doing the tournament. It's about to be awesome, Andy. Axel
Yeah.
is in it. The guy that holds on to the giant 2 wheels. How is he not going to die? If a bullet hits him, he's going to die.
Nobody knows who that is.
Axel?
I feel like that's one of the more popular ones. Yeah.
Come on, man. Get
Come on,
educated.
Andy's
Get
calling
cultured,
him like
Andy.
he sees it.
Yeah, well, you know,
Dead genre.
Peacock saw it. They saw those dollar signs, all right? Eyes are on
It's
Twisted
insane.
Metal.
It's insane to me.
Stephen Marshall says Rebirth 2 Reborn. Stu McGovern says my wife's thirsting for a Legend of Babu date. Legend of Babu, what's that?
No idea.
Is it the monkey one?
I mean, that just sounds like you've heard of
Legend
monkey
of
named
Babu or Balbu?
Oh, it's a dog. I remember there was some
Oh,
animal. I know there
yeah.
was some fucking animal attached to this one. Embark on an
Hell
action
yeah.
adventure,
Shouts
story-driven
about
journey, and explore a vast magical world caught in the battle between light and dark. Say something about your game and say nothing. Okay.
But also, like, you don't need to say much when this is your
Yeah,
key art. You
this
know what I
fucking
mean?
I don't
dog.
remember this.
This chunky boy.
Yeah, I don't remember this.
It's the mega evolution of Moose.
I know. I
This
love
feels
it.
like an alternate like universe game,
I remember this
like
one.
in what was they call it in Rick and Morty, interdimensional cable
Yeah.
kind of thing. It's like interdimensional console.
Brolicious says, do we get a new Need for Speed announcement? I don't think so.
Yeah, they don't announce those at press conferences anymore. They keep them secret.
Literally just drop them.
They drop them like they announce it like a week before they come out.
Like they're ashamed of them.
Yeah, like they're like, oh, we don't need to let anybody know about this.
Diego Review says the first official DCU game's revealed, and it's Superman.
I've fallen for this too many times. I'm not getting excited for
I was
this.
wondering if you wore that shirt for a reason.
It's brand new, and we're in the season, baby. This means we're 1 month removed from Superman in 10 days, but I'll take it. Yeah, I guess technically 9 days.
That's the day that Fantastic Four comes out, right?
I mean, I'm excited for that too. And James Gunn said I don't have to fight about it, so I'm not going to fight about it.
Mm.
Andy, you're not going to bait me into this, all right?
Mm.
Jeff Craddock says most unlikely prediction Beyond Good and Evil 2 production update. Is this the year? I don't think it's the year.
No.
I also don't think this is the time or place to talk about that.
What is?
Jeff Keighley comes up stage. Beyond Good and Evil 2 is fucking dead. We killed it.
What was the celebrity they tied to it for the creation
Joseph
stuff?
Gordon-Levitt
Yeah,
was
Joseph
like,
Gordon-Levitt
"Hey,
comes
give me
back.
your art, and we won't pay you, but
We'll put in
You guys want to make
Put
free
your art.
music for the game?
exposure."
What do you think Joseph Gordon-Levitt thinks about it right now? You know?
Nothing. He doesn't think a goddamn thing about it.
He's like, remember that one time I was on stage to talk about Beyond Good and Evil 2?
Did I dream that?
I wonder if that happened. Like a
Mando
press record or whatever it was
says,
called.
with Ubisoft's cryptic social media post the other day showing a still of Sam Fisher, do you think we'll get a gameplay or trailer update of the Splinter Cell remake? That is a chance. They have been talking about it, and it has been weird. There's been buzz of Splinter Cell, but I feel like every time we start getting into this Summer Game Fest, summer game season, like, the rumors start. And, like, anytime anything happens, it's like, could it be? So I don't think it's likely, but it's possible.
Anything's possible.
Yeah. Dean Brown says Ken Levine turns up to show off a new Judas gameplay trailer, announcing
thinking
it
about that.
finally releases this November. It's about time, surely, right? Maybe.
It doesn't feel like it's this year.
When was it that like Lucy went and saw that?
That was like a year ago.
Yeah, that was early or mid to early last year.
I remember even then they were very not like they were framing this as like this isn't even a preview. This is like
Like it's not even close, bro.
sounding like it was alpha. Yeah,
I
yeah.
will say that Judas is a game that I put in the exact same class of conversations we've had that include Wonder Woman and Black Panther. So take take what you will from that.
what you will.
Oh, but
Well,
like,
we've seen much more of Judas than we have of Wonder Woman.
I know, but still, I'm just saying in terms of like when we are prepping the predictions for these shows, like when we don't do it everyone bring 5, when we do it the way of just like here's a list of all the things, those games were always next to each other. Just saying. Like those are the games I'm like, it could be there, but it also could be dead.
I think for me, the thing with Judas that gives you a bit more faith in it is that like I understand, or at least I've heard the vision from them, right? Like when they had the Friends Per Second podcast and Ryan McCaffrey and I think it was Jeff come through and play it and talk about it. When I listened to all those podcasts, I was like, okay, this is a real game. Like this sounds like you were trying to do something here. They're essentially trying to make like a roguelite type experience, right? But out of a BioShock mold. And hearing them talk about it, I'm like, okay, I believe that this exists. I think now it's just the thing of I'm just waiting to see it one more time before I really believe that it's gonna come out.
Do you think he played Deadloop and was like, fuck, all these
Shit.
We had all these ideas
damn
and
it.
goddamn. Had to go back to the drawing board.
Apple's Dude says James Gunn comes out to announce the first DC Studios game amid all the bad WB game news. What you think, Greg?
No. I'd fucking die, of course, but no, that's not gonna happen. Don't worry about that.
CJ Splits On says Rocket Knight. I don't think so.
The Rocket League sequel?
Like the
Shovel Knight,
Super
Rocket
Nin-
Knight.
Super Nintendo little like
yeah, little rat.
wiener
guy.
dog rat.
Yeah. What was he? What animal
Yeah, what the
was he?
fuck was? Can you look up Rocket Knight?
If
Well,
like
I love that CJ splits on Super Chat's Rocket Knight ? And then underneath it, Super Chat's immediately Splinter Cell, as if it's almost like he made a typo. Like he wanted to write Splinter Cell, but he wrote Rocket Knight. He's like, oh fuck no, come here.
I always loved Rocket Knight's look. He's so cool looking.
This is not what I was thinking about. but-
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I love.
Who were
this
you
little guy.
thinking about?
I don't know.
I was just making up games, man.
Hell yeah, man! Shout out to
That
Rocket
does
Knight.
exist.
People in chat bringing up Carl Urban for Mortal Kombat trailer. That could make a lot of
that
sense.
would
Damn.
that'd be sick.
That's like sounds like time because the movie's coming out in October, I think. So yeah, getting a trailer. Yeah. Then Danny in the middle says, "Where's Wolf Among Us season 2?"
Never happened. Don't worry about it.
Anthony Adams says, "I'm late to the party. Did you guys predict Half-Life 3 in any capacity? The rumor is announcement is imminent." That's another one like the Splinter Cell, but I think there's a lot more smoke with this. Like predicting Half-Life 3 at an event is the dumbest, silliest thing you could possibly do. But Alex was a thing that existed. The Steam Deck is finding success. Steam is in a very different place. I think it's inevitable that we get Half-Life 3, and I think it's time, baby.
Holy shit.
I think it's time. I just don't know it's going to be at this event.
I was say Summer Game Fest, even though I know Jeff, has had gigantic announcements at
Yeah.
this thing, and like he paints it as one of his main events. For some reason, Summer Game Fest doesn't feel big enough for
Yeah.
Half-Life 3.
I mean, I agree totally.
but I also don't know what is big enough for Half-Life
Yeah.
3.
Yeah. I mean, are you guys with me though that like Half-Life 3 feels more real than ever right now?
Yeah, 100%.
I think that do we think that could be one that they just post on their own?
100%.
Yeah.
Because like, what was the Mike's Game of the Year last year that wasn't even officially announced by Steam, Andy?
Deadlocked.
Deadlocked. Yeah, like
yeah.
they didn't even have to fucking like post like even officially announce that game, and that game's fucking huge or was at the
You
time.
put that
right?
on the front page of every Steam.
Yeah.
Like as soon as you open up Steam, it's like the
Yeah.
the big splash, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel like you, as Valve, you create a showcase.
Yeah.
To announce
But
Half-Life.
my only thing against that though is I feel like while there are exceptions to like how they do things, Steam and Valve have shown that they like partnering up with people and like at least playing nice and being on stage. Like even remembering back at the PlayStation E3 press conference in I think 2010 when Gabe came out and announced like Portal 2 was coming to the PlayStation 5. Like obviously very different time, but I would imagine Steam wants to position themselves with everyone else as opposed to against everyone else. So I wouldn't be surprised if they play nice with Jeff on purpose to like kind of use that stage and kind of like get Steam to be even more of a household name than it already is, because like they're in such a great place right now.
Do they get Gabe Newell off the couch?
For Half-Life, probably, right? That's
He
the
has
thing.
to.
That's
and
the
Jeff
time.
and him, they have a
They
relationship.
do.
Yeah, yeah.
They do. I do not think it's impossible that Gabe comes out on this stage.
That
in
would
a
be
couple days. Yeah.
crazy.
On November 21st, 2019, at 10:01 a.m., Valve announced Half-Life Alyx on Twitter. They just said return to Half-Life in March 2020. Pre-purchase now on Steam.
Yeah, but
yeah.
that's a V. Like that's a like.
But like
That was still the
tense.
first Half-Life game new in decades or a decade and a half or something, right?
But like, it's still not Half-Life 3. I know the game was amazing. I know everybody that loved it or that played it loved it. But to me, this is them knowing we cannot show off or reveal this game at a big ass showcase because people are gonna go fucking VR. What? This isn't what we want. So
Sure,
like,
yeah.
this makes sense for this sort of announcement.
They
Half-Life 3
announced
is
it the way Bless talked about God of War, the grease game.
Yeah, I think for 3, I don't know if it's just a press release or an email. I think it's a big deal.
And then the final one here, CJ Splitson says Jet Set Radio or Sega games. I think that's a lock. I think Jet Set Radio and Crazy Taxi.
Yeah,
to some extent.
I hope so.
I think we see him.
You got a good one with that neck. You know what I'm talking about?
Big neck.
Oh,
Good
you
neck.
give me some crazy decks. We're gonna have some fun over here.
That's all true, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us today for this predictions episode for Summer Game Fest. Tomorrow we will be predicting the Xbox Showcase, and who the fuck knows, a PlayStation event might get announced. We'll predict that too at some point, somewhere. I like the way you're looking at me.
Crazy text, man. That gets me going. You kidding me right now?
We're about to do the Kind of Funny podcast. Clearly, Greg has an energy to him, so stay tuned. Watch us live on Twitch or YouTube. If you're on YouTube, make the jump over to the different link. If you're on Twitch, stay right where your ass is. Till next time, love y'all. Goodbye.
You could drink a Coke.
Not yet.